I won't try to lie to you and tell you that coverage is something that's easy in Madden 25, because that's as far from the truth as it's possible to be. However, I'm going to attempt to show you what I like to do when I go from blitzing my opponent to dropping everybody into coverage. There are a few areas in Madden 25 where your defense is very weak. One being drags, two being skinny posts. So I'm going to do my best in this video to try to show you what I like to do against people who tend to abuse those routes. So, as we know, a lot of the top players are running Indianapolis this year. TNA has a few players, Brusque being one of them, that runs the tight formations out of this indie book, and we're showing you the mesh play. So, mesh is pretty much predicated on drag routes, and stock drag routes are something that get really open. Hot routed drag routes do work as well, but ones that are stock do a better job at getting open against both man and zone. So I'm just going to show you a popular setup that's used. Simply just going streak and corner on the same side of the field, and then dual drags in a wheel. And we're going to show you the base coverage here that I like to use is cover 3. So like every other play in this ebook, we're going to base a line, spread the D-line, crash the D-line left, and then from here we're going to bump and run, and we're going to cushion coverage. Cushion coverage is something that does not just work for deep zones, but it also works for hook zones. But when we're facing drags, we're not going to worry about hook zones because we're not really going to have them on the field too often. And that sounds crazy. They're throwing short middle. Why wouldn't you have hook zones? I'm going to show you what I like to do. So with the linebackers, we're going to flinch every single one of them. So we're going to flinch Toomer. He's going into a purple zone. He's going to play for the corner or deep out. This player, Wagner, is going to be in a flat zone. Malcolm Smith will also be in a flat zone. Then from there, it's up to you. You can either spy Bryant and man up Averill on the running back, or you can man up Bryant and spy Averill. Totally up to you. Then, of course, we're going to use our Thomas. And what we're going to do with Thomas is we're going to try to jump routes over the middle. And what you'll see here is that it's kind of hard to throw drags. If you throw a drag, the spy in the middle of the field does a good job at when the receiver is over the middle of the field at being in the way. Makes you have to either throw it before he gets to the spy or after he gets to the spy. Here we threw it right at him. Bad throw. And not a very good game. The other thing I want to look at here is these players here in the hook zones. When you're facing somebody who runs drags, hook zones drop too deep and then they don't attack the ball over the middle. The best thing that we can do after this is just put them in flats. And what we're going to do with the flats is by having these linebackers in the middle of the field working inside to outside, it's going to confuse your opponent for a short period of time that could be needed to get them to wait, maybe throw the drag too early or throw the drag too late. The other thing is that the corner route that always gets open is absolutely shut down. There's no one in the area for the flat. Well, actually, the flat starts to break down on this drag over the middle, but case in point is that the corner is absolutely covered. Now, running the same setup, crash the line left, we're going to man up Bryant, spy Averill, and then just simply flinch all our linebackers, and user Earl Thomas. Now, the last time we threw the ball to Patton, this time we'll throw it to Davis, and you'll see it's very awkward. There's really not good time to throw that ball. And we did do a good job. We picked up some yards there. And like I said, coverage is very tough in this year's game. But, like I'm saying, these flats make your opponent have to work for it. And the further inside you put them, the better. So as you can see, they work inside to outside. You're only picking up 4 yards, and you can get a big hit on the tight end. So that's what I typically do against guys who like to use drags. Now, What if you're facing somebody who likes to throw skinny posts? So let's go ahead and call our cover 3 again. We'll find a formation that has a skinny post. See if I can find one. Oh, I know one that has one. Split close. Close halfback wheel. So again, same setup as always. Crash line left. We're going to man up on Gore, spy, and then same setup, purple. And if we know they're throwing these routes, we'll go ahead and leave the hook zones. And like I said at the beginning, we cushion coverage. So first, let's go ahead and reset. We'll go ahead and reset the play. I actually think that you can't reset cushion coverage. But what I'm going to show you is, first, that's a perfect example. Right there without cushion coverage. The skinny post gets past the hook zones, and deep zones, again, are too conservative. The ball is easily thrown underneath the hook zones for a completion over the middle, even though you're in cover 3. That's how simple passing is in this year's game. You can throw a post into a cover 3, which makes absolutely no sense. But that's Madden. Now let's show you the exact same setup. Base line, bump and run, spread line, crash line left, man up the running back, spy. And this does seem like a lot of steps. It's not. It's really not. It takes no time at all to set this up. And here we're going to cushion coverage. And I'm going to click off of Sherman. Now we're in cushion coverage. Watch these hook zones. They get deeper. It's a much tougher throw. And there we'll show you, because we had the running back manned up, it actually switched the linebacker into coverage and dropped Red Bryant down the middle. So if you want to put a faster guy at that spot, feel free. It just depends on which player you have in the spy, which player you have in man coverage, they'll switch off. If we put Averill in man coverage on Gore and spy Bryant, you'll see that's different. So again, here's the play. Skinny post. Look how deep those hook zones play. Malcolm Smith in the cushion coverage gets way deep and picks off the ball over the middle. You'll see again, when you have linemen in man coverage on running backs, when they run a route to the flat, they'll sometimes switch off and have another player cover it. So right there, as you see, Cliff Averill, who was in man coverage, points at Bobby Wagner, go cover him. Red Bryant drops into this spy over the middle of the field. And Malcolm Smith, who's in a hook zone, goes all the way back to the left in his cushion coverage and takes away the post route. Coverage is solid. You might have had this throw to the corner, but we'll show you again by combining tips, flinching linebackers, by flinching guys, plus cushion coverage. Very tough to throw this ball. See how the purple zone jumps way to the outside? It's just how it plays. By flinching guys, they play more aware, cushion coverage. And now I want to basically go back and talk about the last thing with this defense. So we have set up our coverage. And let's say we're spying him, we're going to man up Gore. Let's say that they've been fearing the heat. So they go ahead and they block Gore. Now all of a sudden you're unswervable again. Well, thought you were unswervable. We'll take a look and see what happened there. So the man-in-man coverage on the running back is Malcolm Smith. Spy is Red Bryant. We roll out, and they bump into each other. That's what it was. All right, so that's something that's kind of rare, so we'll do this again. Very easy to set up. So we're good. Block Gore. tough swerve because the guy is so close to the line of scrimmage. So that's what I'm getting at. Coverage is not perfect in this game at all. Coverage defenses still get shredded, which is why I'm a fan of sending the pressure. But when you're facing guys who play drags, use the inside to outside flat zones with interior linebackers. And then when you're facing posts and in routes, use that cushion coverage so they drop and stay on those routes. So take that and add that to your coverage defense. That's the cover 3.